We've got one more really special and exciting announcement. That's why we've got this lovely gentleman, Mark, here from the UK. Um, Mark, do you want to unmute and share a little bit as to our meeting a couple of months ago, where we were, what we did, and kind of the success we've had in what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, no, thanks for Zach for that. I've been speaking to Zach for a little while now, and Zach was traveling through London, and I was able to sit down and meet with his family. Being an ex-operator and owner of facilities myself, and now heading up the Marshalls International brand in the UK, which has been going for some 40 years. This software certainly fits in with, as Steve alluded to, the changing of the guard within our industry, the younger demographic coming in, and getting them to engage in how to use the software and the importance of energy use and the depth of ice and the thickness of ice and so on and so on. We had our first caliper a couple of weeks ago. We've got the biggest ice rink operator in Europe on board using it. I dropped into the rink with them to show them the first bit. The main maintenance guy there was grumbling because he said we've only got 10 minutes. I think it took us about 8 minutes to do 37 points. Literally blew his mind. Then this week I was up in Glasgow again. Nobody in the rink really knows much about ice. We've discussed the points. I've left them with a caliper. Again, they've done their first step checks, and it's kind of blew their mind as well. We are initially a Olympia distributor in the UK and some parts of Europe and further afield in the UAE. One of the things that we will do is with every new machine we sell, we'll offer the package for 2 years. With every used machine we sell, we'll offer it for a year. And we want to take it a step further with Zach and the team on the maintenance side, in the fact that Ian Williams, our chief engineer that goes around and services the machines in the UK and France, and sometimes in the UAE, we would like to use the barcode end of it so that when he's on site and he's doing all his service parts and his oil changes and filter changes and everything else, that he's actually logging in and submitting that paperwork back, or digital paperwork back to ourselves. So we have a full catalogue of what happens with these machines when we go out to service them. One of the things in the UK is we're very, very health and safety heavy. And a lot of the rinks are scrutinised for health and safety. And if we can give access very quickly to where the issues are with the machine or what's being done to the machine, whether it be the manager in the rink or environmental health officer coming in and wanting to inspect the paperwork, and if that's all digital, that is a massive plus on this side of the water. So there's no downside. I think our market is slightly different in the UK in terms of how the rinks are used. We have 70% maybe public skating, and the rest is a mix between hockey and figure skating. So the patterns in our rinks are slightly different in terms of how the rinks get used. But again, we're early days with Zach and the guys, and we're just working away from what fits our market, and the other markets that we deal with, we're actively talking to them about what's best for them.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. That's awesome. And one thing I want to add that I think was really cool and especially unique for Europe, on your rink layouts, you guys have identified where your barrier entrances are, your dasher board gates entrances are. Do you want to chat a minute about that, Mark, and how it ties to public skating?
Yeah, so one of the things the guys here is, if you haven't got the experience, obviously, we might have 5 or 6 gateways open, and you could have 500 or 600 people skating 2 hours before a hockey game. All those people are going off the ice at different places. Them areas become quite thin. So they're particular areas that need building up. So again, as I say, we've had to work through it with Zach of what's needed for our market. So when the guys are out there, I'm actually doing depth checks, they understand the areas that they need to plug into, and get the right depth and see whether it needs building up, or if it's a corner, see whether it needs cutting down. Which everybody has that issue, but we've had horrific problems here where I went into a rink not so long ago and there's 18 inches of ice in the corner, and that gives you a perspective of some of the things that we're dealing with here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really exciting on our side to see a platform like this that started off working with a 20,000 seat arena here in Canada, and them saying, hey, can we build a quick little form for people to fill in? And in less than a year and a half, maybe 2 years, having this be adopted by rinks overseas, and us being able to log in and say, hey, look, here's a rink in Scotland that just, we've never met them, no idea who they are, maybe spoke over email once, they've already done 2 or 3 ice step checks, and there's their readings. Here we do inches, there they have it in millimeters, but it's all stored, it's all documented. For us, that's phenomenal stuff, that is success we never would have been able to expect or anticipate.